Who is the biggest star in boxing?
Man, you know, I love this stuff. You know, I love a good challenge. This is for me and my team. I'm not proving everyone else wrong. I'm proving myself right at the end of the day. And so this is a great test. I know what I'm capable of. And once I beat this guy, it's just another check of a box, and people will have less things to say.
You just got to wait and see come November the 14th, you know. I let him do all the talking. And come the 14th, we'll see what he about. How long he been boxing? 5 years? We'll see what he about come November the 14th.
At the start of the discussion, Oscar de la Hoya didn't hold back his admiration for Gervonta "Tank" Davis, calling him one of the most electrifying fighters in boxing today. He described Tank as a rare combination of skill, speed, and power, a complete athlete capable of standing toe-to-toe with anyone in the sport. De la Hoya emphasized that Davis possesses every attribute needed to dominate at the elite level, from his sharp ring IQ to his explosive finishing ability. Yet, despite that praise, De la Hoya voiced a clear concern: Davis's limited activity. Fighting only once a year, he warned, can stall a fighter's rhythm and slow long-term growth. De la Hoya encouraged Tank to step into the ring more frequently, reminding that every appearance gives fans a night to remember. More importantly, he argued, staying active would not just satisfy the audience, it would help solidify Davis's standing among boxing's all-time greats.
Davis is not the face of boxing because he doesn't fight often. He fights once a year. And he's probably one of the best talents in the world. I love Tank Davis. I love watching him fight. I love when he goes in the ring and just demonstrates power and speed, and he doesn't give a shit. I love that. But he has to fight more often. We want to see Tank fight 3-4 times a year. Tank Davis, I dare you to break my record. 5 world title fights in 1 year. Let's go.
You think he's lost?
You think he's lost? That was the question circling after the recent Miami press conference, where Gervonta "Tank" Davis once again addressed the size gap between himself and Jake Paul. Calm and composed, Davis openly recognized that Jake carries a clear physical edge, but he also pointed out that boxing is far more than just size and strength. He explained that years of high-level competition have refined his timing, strategy, and composure, traits that can't be measured on a scale. Davis framed the upcoming bout as a fascinating clash of styles, Jake's raw power against his own precision and fight intelligence. While he respected Paul's physical gifts, Davis made it clear that his technical foundation and experience give him every tool he needs to neutralize those advantages. Speaking with quiet confidence, he assured fans that his ring knowledge, adaptability, and discipline would ultimately tip the fight in his favor.
You know, we know that Jake is much bigger than me and things like that, but we just got to be smart when we get in there, and that's what my experience is going to play a big factor, you know, so I can't really say too much right now. I don't want to say too much, but I definitely want to, you know, put on a great show come November the 14th and make sure that I, you know, show him what I'm about.
What do you think is going to happen in the fight, genuinely?
What I think? You gotta wait and see.
Veteran analyst and former world champion Timothy Bradley Jr. didn't mince words when sharing his take on the matchup. In his view, Jake Paul will be little more than a routine assignment for Gervonta "Tank" Davis once the bell rings. Bradley highlighted Tank's track record of dismantling opponents through pinpoint accuracy, patience, and elite-level discipline. He emphasized that Davis never walks into a fight unprepared. Every performance is backed by a carefully crafted game plan built specifically for the man across the ring. According to Bradley, Tank's ability to read his opponents and adjust on the fly separates him from the rest. He made it clear that whatever success Jake Paul has enjoyed up to this point won't mean much when facing a fighter of Davis's caliber. In Bradley's eyes, this upcoming challenge operates on a completely different level, and Gervonta is not only ready for it but primed to dominate from start to finish.
That's easy taking, bro. Easy work. For anybody with a real IQ, straight trash. Yeah, you don't like that pressure? Oh, we know you don't like that pressure. Oh, yeah, and you don't even for damn sure don't like them body shots. And we know you come on with that looping right hand, that wild-ass whooping right hand. That ain't gonna land on a real fighter. Bro, for real. Man, you don't belong in the ring with Tank Davis, bro. You ain't earned that right. I don't care what you've done for women's boxing or this or that. I don't care about none of that, bro. You ain't earned that. But hey, you getting in there. Congratulations, you getting money. But to be accepted, you ain't gonna never be accepted, bro. Not by me.
Another respected voice in the boxing world, Showbiz the adult, weighed in on the growing anticipation surrounding the fight, offering a sharp observation about Gervonta, Tank Davis's approach. He noted that during each face-off, Davis wasn't just standing there, he was studying Jake Paul with precision, almost as if conducting a psychological test. According to Showbiz, Tank treats these tense moments as early battles of the mind, using them to gauge how Paul reacts when the pressure begins to build. Showbiz praised Davis for mastering both sides of the sport, the physical combat inside the ropes and the mental warfare that unfolds long before the first punch is thrown. Speaking on the recent shove that shocked fans, he described it as a calculated yet intimidating move, one that clearly rattled Jake. In his analysis, Paul's hesitant response hinted at more than just surprise. It suggested that beneath the bravado, a trace of uncertainty or even fear might already be setting in.
He found something out. He has good reason to. And Tank Davis ain't going to play around with him. Tank Davis is taking him Tank knows what he's going to do this fight. He knows how he's going to prepare for it, how to bring him down, so he's really not saying nothing. It's the art of war. Don't say anything. Jake Paul gives away a lot. And Tank is taking the data that Jake Paul is giving him. Even when he comes out like this and everything, he's looking at his feet. He's looking at his abs. He's looking at everything. I know this is an exhibition, but if Tank Davis knocks out Jake Paul, he's going to go super viral.
On the other side of the spotlight, Jake Paul has also shown respect toward Gervonta, Tank Davis, calling him an exceptional fighter and acknowledging the challenge that lies ahead. Speaking to the press, Paul explained that testing himself against the best is the only real path to legitimacy in the sport, and that's exactly why he chose Davis as his next opponent. He made it clear that this matchup isn't just about headlines or hype, but about proving he belongs among boxing's true professionals. Fully aware of Davis's explosive power and world-class skill, Paul admitted that this fight represents one of the biggest risks of his career. Yet, he sees that risk as a rare opportunity. A victory over Tank, he said, wouldn't just elevate his reputation, it could redefine his entire boxing journey and open the door to even greater possibilities. For Paul, this bout is more than a contest, it's a defining moment that could mark his transition from entertainer to elite-level fighter.
Always have a lot to say, but both of us have some of the biggest knockouts of the past years in boxing, and we're coming to fight. We made it smaller gloves just now today, so someone's getting put to sleep.
How's your mental?
I'm doing great, man. I'm just so happy to be here. I love all of this. Excited to get back to camp and just knock this guy out and prove people wrong once again.
Jake, what are you guys going to agree on?
Oh man, this is where we first wanted it in the first place. This is where it's all at. Miami's popping, better's here, so download better, and man, we're gonna run it up on November 14th.
Do you believe that this boxing event put you closer to the fight with Canelo Alvarez? I mean, you are fighting with a regular champion right now.
Yeah, you know, this is a top 10 pound-for-pound fighter that I'm facing. Continuing to grow my name and brand in the sport, even bigger than it already is, and you know, this puts me one step closer to getting in there with Canelo, and I think that's probably one of the biggest fights in boxing that could happen.
Adding to the growing wave of opinions, Rolando "Raleigh" Romero also shared his perspective on the highly anticipated showdown. He praised the fiery energy and raw emotion that filled the press conference, noting that both Gervonta, Tank Davis and Jake Paul seemed equally determined to prove a point once the gloves come on. According to Romero, their mutual hunger to win is what makes this matchup so compelling, but in boxing, determination alone isn't enough. Romero reminded fans that when the bell rings, only one man will walk away with his hand raised while the other must accept defeat. He explained that the true deciding factor will come down to execution. The fighter who can best exploit his own strengths and capitalize on his opponent's weaknesses will likely control the night. In Romero's view, this clash isn't just about power or fame, but about discipline, adaptability, and who can impose their strategy under pressure when it matters most.
Yeah, they're gonna swing at each other.
Okay. You expect Tank to knock him out?
I mean, bro, if Tank can tap him in the body, you know, but like I said, what happens if can Tank take a 200-pound dude punch? I mean, obviously, if we're going to give it to skill-wise, we're going to give it to Gervonta, you know? Like, there's no ifs, ands, questions, or any of that stuff. But like I said, size can play a big factor. Like I said, what are you going to do if he just grabs you?
One of the most talked about moments from the press conference came when Gervonta, Tank Davis and Jake Paul boldly agreed to a staggering $2 million bet on the fight's outcome. The announcement sent shockwaves through the crowd, not just because of the amount, but because of what it symbolized. Both fighters, brimming with self-belief, showed zero hesitation in putting their money where their mouths are. The wager instantly amplified the tension and excitement surrounding an already blockbuster event. It wasn't just a financial gamble, it was a public declaration of confidence, pride, and competitive fire. For fans, that massive bet adds another layer of drama to the story, turning this fight into more than a clash of skill and power. It's now a high-stakes battle of ego and conviction, where both men are determined to prove that their confidence is worth every dollar on the line.
Let's make it $1 million.
Whoa.
Let's make it 2.
Jake.
Let's make it 2.
$1 million total. Yeah.
Shake on it.
Jake, $1 million.
2 mil?
2 mil.
2 mil. Let's do
2
it.
mil. Right here, 2 mil. Go ahead.
2 mil.
Jake.
Easy work, bro.
2 mil?
Get it shake.
Oh, they're shaking lefty.
2 mil.
There we go.
Oh my God. Oh my
$2
God.
million.
Yes, sir.